Hi, it's Steve with Brownells, and today we're going to take a look at what you should do to clean your revolver after you come home from the range. Now, revolvers come in many shapes and sizes, but the basic rules usually stay the same. First thing I like to do is take off the grips. The reason being is you don't want oil, cleaning solvent, whatever, creeping under your grips. Now, we're not going to do a total detail disassembly. We're going to do a field strip and just a regular cleaning. So here we go. This is a Smith Wesson K-frame. I'm going to take the cylinder out by removing the side plate screw, the forward side plate screw. And that's easy enough. Put the screw aside so you don't lose it. By the way, you should have some kind of a cleaning mat to put down so you don't ruin your wife's table or something. Just put something down to catch the oil, catch the gunk. Take off the yoke and set this aside for a minute. I want to work on the basic gun first, so that means basically the barrel. So I'm going to put it upside down in the vise. Why? Because we're going to use solvents and everything's going to drip downward. You don't want it dripping into the works of your gun. So if you do it this way, it all goes down. Here's my favorite. Hoppy's number 9, works every time. And I like to just get some out in the cap because you don't have to use a whole lot of this. You really don't. Let's see, I've got the luxury of having a couple of pistol rods here. So what I do is I get a mop, get some hoppies on it, and run it down the barrel. Now notice that this is a pistol mop. It's shorter than a rifle mop because you don't have unlimited clearance on the other end. You have to be able to back it up. The same is true with brushes. You'll find that the pistol brushes and the rifle brushes are different lengths for that reason. So let that hoppies work in there for a second. And then we just take our brush. And I like to put a little more solvent on it just for the heck of it. And run it through. Back and forth, you know the drill. This gun isn't particularly dirty. I've been shooting powder-coated bullets in it, so they really don't lead a whole lot. In fact, it's getting pretty shiny. So, I think I'll run a mop through it. Inspect it. Yeah, that looks really good. Now I want to take a brush and get in here by the forcing cone around the barrel junction. Get all the carbon built up out of there. You might have to let yours soak if it's been building up for a long time. You might have to use a really stiff brush on it. But this one is in good shape. So we're just going to clean up our solvent here. Give it a wipe down. And give the thing a looking over. Now this gun has seen better days for sure, but it's still a solid shooter. It's still very serviceable. So what I'll do is wipe it down. This rag's got enough oil in it to do the job already. And we'll set it aside. Now comes the cylinder, the fun part. You got 6 holes to worry about here. Put it in the vise. It's always easier if you have your piece locked down to where you have both hands and you can control how much things travel. Now here comes the scary part. First, we take some more hoppies and we soak each chamber, each charge hole as Smith & Wesson calls them. Get some in each one. 4, 5, 6. All right, take a deep breath, hold on to your hat, because this next trick is something I've been doing for 30 years. And that is That's the way it's done in the shop. Let's take a look and see what it looks like once we get all the gunk wiped out. They're shiny. This particular setup is with a nylon brush, but I've used brass brushes in the past. They don't hurt your cylinder. You're not going to be in there all day going back and forth, back and forth. You're just in there for a few seconds to get the carbon out. And if you got a good solvent like Hoppy's, it'll come right out. If you have some that gives you a real problem, say you've been shooting 38s in a 357 for years and years and years and haven't done anything about it, take a brush like that, but wrap some of this bronze steel wool. Now that's a contradiction in terms, bronze steel wool. It's bronze wool, that's what it is. Wrap that around your brush. That'll give you a little extra cleaning power. It's not more aggressive, it's not more abrasive, it's just, it catches more junk. It eats it faster. Nice little tip there. That same principle applies when you're shooting like a 10-shot 22 or something. You want to go the fastest method possible. And you can buy, if you don't want to use your drill, if that makes you feel uneasy, you can buy a rod that does not have this bearing in there. You can actually crank on it and revolve that brush and that mop. And if you want to do it that way, fine, especially if you only have the one revolver to worry about. So once you've got the cylinder done, and we're not done quite yet, we're going to wipe off most of the gunk here. Check underneath the extractor star. And I see just a little powder there. Let's look at the face. First we wipe it off. And then if we saw a lot of lead buildup, we'd go after it with the steel wool. And then wipe the mop through it again to make sure there was no residue inside the chambers. But this face looks pretty good, and it's looks like I haven't shot this gun in a while. So we wipe it down just like the rest of the gun. And we oil as needed now. Now, if you need to take the side plate off, we have a nice quick tip on how to do that properly without putting that little wrinkle right here in the upper corner. Yeah, you all done it. Watch the video, show you how to do it right. Now, once you got all the gunk out of this thing, it doesn't hurt to add just a drop or two of oil by opening it up all the way and just put a drop right there. Oop, that was more than a drop. I'm going to wipe some of that off. And a little bit up here. Once you put it back in the crane, you will see, oh, one more thing. On a double action gun like this, or even a single action, make sure you wipe down these bearing surfaces right here. That's what bears on the cylinder. It revolves on that. Then put a little oil on. And not much at all. Because oil attracts crud. Crud sticks to it. So wipe off the excess. Slide this assembly back together. And now we slide it back into the gun. Tighten down our side plate screw, or the yoke screw in this case. And check for function. Everything's looking good. Feels a little cleaner. That's it for the single action, or the double action revolver. Single action's very much the same. I would take the grips off first, of course. This particular one's got a locking base pin, so I need to loosen that up. Take the brake off, as it were. Then I can depress the base pin latch button here, pull the base pin forward, and take out my cylinder. That way I can go through all those steps just like I did on the double action gun. Super easy. Once you get into the groove, you know, you come back from the range, you can be done in 15 minutes and have all this out of your way and ready for the next trip to the range. If you have any questions or comments about how to clean your revolver, let us know in the comments. We'd like to hear from you. In the meantime, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.